Hello everyone, welcome to another WarLight strategy video review template thing that we have been doing for the multi-day ladder. I have with me Jay-Z today, and she's gonna help me review or figure out a strategic guide for Treasure Map. Treasure Map is a great map. It has the best names of lands ever. I particularly like Schweziningen is rumored to be buried here. He won't come back ever. That's a
It's, I
great
think it's,
territory
I think
name.
it's, I think it's Scheveningen, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the chess move thing. That's all I know about the name. But it was actually a player in WarLight that was pretty famous. And when the guy that was making the map was doing it, he wanted suggestions for names of territories, and well, someone suggested this, and he adopted it. Anyways, this is a very interesting template. It's been played a lot already, so it's not really new for most players. You have 4 starting picks of 4 initial armies each. You have some wastelands of 7, which is actually quite annoying because it can be confused with the 2 somehow. So I don't really like it that much. I have fucked up a few games that way, and not realizing that that's a 7 instead of a 2. You have the usual cards, Reinforcement of the Priority Order, Delay, and Blockade. Cyclic order and 0% straight round, and you start off with 4 armies per turn. So the typical things for picking apply. You should go for both coverage and initial bonus. There are at least 2 positions that are always hotspots on this map for obvious reasons. One of them is down here in the south, called Diamond Pass. The other one is a combo between Flatlands and Skull Beach. So these are always usually picked first because they're both good positioning. Diamond Pass is very good to defend and also a good position into the area. And on the north, if you get both two, they're very hard to reach because you have this lagoon thing here separating from the rest. And also you have the +5 right there, which is very optimum for expansion. Yeah, so JZ, what would you usually pick on this map? What hotspots do you usually look out for?
So, like you said, Diamond Pass in the south is usually a hotspot I go for. And it depends on how many other territories are bordering it, because frequently, like in this distribution, you see 2 territories also bordering it, which would push me away from taking it, except for in this case, both of them are wastelanded. So it's a decent pick here. I probably wouldn't make it my first. And then again, like you said, the Skull Beach area in the north is often very good. It's a nice combo. When you get Elephant Graveyard and Flatlands combo, sometimes you can get that combo, and then what you can also get at the same time is Way of the Dead in the middle. That's one of my other favorite bonuses, because Way of the Dead, it's positioned very nicely. It accesses everything, and it's got a choke point on both sides to help protect it.
Yep.
So if you had a game where you got Elephant Graveyard and Flatlands, and then Way of the Dead, you have a way of getting an extra, 3+3. You can have 10 armies after turn 2 with that combination, which is really, really nice if you can get it. Let's see what else.
Usually you have some +3s which can be on the borderline, which can be targeted for first turn bonus, but usually the +2s are better. And since you have 4 picks each player, it's very likely that you will see each other on turn 2 or turn 3 very quickly. So you really want initial income. So usually these games tend to go for combos, for first turn bonus combos, or for places where you can get the +2s straight ahead. Some positions that I also seen come into play a lot is usually Silver's Gorge, that blue on the west north part, which usually, if it can be comboed, usually is a nice first turn bonus, and then you can use it either to go north, or you can use it to expand into Hunting Grounds or Jungle of Nightmares. So I have seen this territory also being used into play quite often. Is there anything else you
Yeah,
can think of?
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, that's a really good combo. If you can get hunting grounds and Silver's Gorge, if you happen to have one where Jungle of Nightmares is wastelanded. Sorry, what I was saying earlier about getting two bonuses, you can actually get a 4 and a 3 on turn 2 if you have a combination. If you had Silver's Gorge and Hunting Grounds and Way of the Dead, then you could get plus 11 on turn 2 with that combination by tapping in Way of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice combination. I like to sometimes go for these 4 points in the middle to double pick them because they're a lot of income that comes very quickly, and there's great expansion in that area.
Yeah.
The next thing I go for a lot of the time are the 2 islands with the 2 3-point islands that have 4 territories. Those are
Butterfly
good.
Island and Isle of Sunken Ship.
Yes, so those I do go for on occasion, are actually pretty common as a later pick. Occasionally, I might go for Isle of the Dogs. This wouldn't be something you would normally pick, but on a distribution like this, if you had Isle of the Dogs, one side wasteland and the other one with a pick that attacks into it, you can actually.
Which one is Isle of the Dogs?
It's on the northwest.
Ah, okay.
This is a stretch pick. It's rare. You don't generally want to pick it, but sometimes that one can come into play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the islands usually don't come into play that much because they're not very optimum. If you count the number of territories each one has, they're not very optimum compared, for example, like if you take a look at Heart of the North, it's 6 territories for 5 income. Well, these islands on the side have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and the same one over here, 7 territories for 5. So they're not as optimum as if you go for the center. And since you have such initial low income, you usually don't have time to finish the entire +5 before you find your opponent. So you don't get to capitalize on it. That's why people usually go for +2s, +3s, +4s on this map and expansion. Then after the initial clash, and someone gets wiped out from some area, you will need very decent expansion. If you're cornered in the islands, your expansion is not as fast as if you are in the center.
Yep. And one other thing to note, 2 lakes.
Where is that?
That one is the green 4 that's between Way of the Dead and Diamond Pass.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
That one frequently can be triple picked, and so when that is able to be triple picked, you have to always watch out for that. Because if your opponent triple picks it and has one in the north, then that can be kind of disastrous for you.
And 2 lakes is also usually a good combo pick with Diamond Pass, or a counter pick to Diamond Pass, because if you finish 2 lakes and your opponent has Diamond Pass, it's very hard from someone from Diamond Pass to break into 2 lakes. They can flank, but it takes so long that it's usually not worth it. So yeah, usually it's a good position to have 2 lakes, but you need to make sure that you have how can I say control of your border against Diamond Pass, because Diamond Pass is usually first order priority pick on this template. Okay, anything else you can think of that's worth mentioning?
The last thing is Horned Cape in the north.
Which one is that?
The pink 4.
Oh yeah.
That one is frequently used as a counter to the north. So sometimes people will late pick Skull Beach and Flatlands and then counter with Horned Cape in the north. And sometimes it's an effective strategy, and sometimes it's better to pick stuff that will get you income instead of relying on counters.
Yeah. So if you're just countering a +2, you don't really get much out of countering it. Or at least you need to wait a little more to make yourself seen, so your counter has more impact. Well, it depends a lot on the layout, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to post this on YouTube and put it on the strategic forums as we usually do. So if you guys have any questions, let us know what you think. If you have any specific games that you want the rest of the community from WarLight to give their opinion on, please post them on the forum thread as well. I'm sure someone will pick it up and suggest some tactics for it. And that's it for now. Bye bye. Take care.